Follow your passion. You've no doubt heard this phrase been said to you at some point in your life, but what does it actually mean to do it? To start, it helps to know where passion comes from. The root of the word passion is patai, which means to suffer. In this sense, we can think of passion being something that moves us to action despite displeasure, unhappiness, and pain. It is the burning desire that gets you out of bed early in the morning when it's cold and you haven't had enough sleep, because you know that it's going to get you that one step closer to your goal. In this video, we're going to look at themes presented in Daniel Coyle's book, The Talent Code, where he uncovers hidden aspects of talent and passion by studying small areas in the world that repeatedly oversupply top performers in their field. The first key idea he found after studying hundreds of young professionals is the idea that passion is something that can be ignited within us by our surroundings and the encouragement of those who believe in us. This is to say that passions are not innate within us. Instead, they are encouraged by the cues in our environment and shaped out of our life experiences. This was made apparent to Coyle when he asked young children who were passionate about playing the violin where they got their enthusiasm from. They gave surprised responses, saying that they always felt like they liked to play the violin. However, when he dug deeper, he found that the children who had the highest amount of passion had cues in their environment that nudged them towards playing violin. Often their parents would be professional players, and their houses would be littered with instruments, and they would be repeatedly exposed to classical music. From this, we see that the environment which we live in doesn't only shape the things we enjoy doing, but also it shapes the things that we are willing to endure in order to achieve mastery and success. The second key finding from his study of world-class performers came from identifying the time frame in which they view their participation in their chosen field. While studying children learning to play the violin, Coyle discovered that those who saw themselves playing into adulthood learned twice as much as their peers over the same period of lessons. This was confirmed by the teachers of the study, who said that they could visibly see the difference between a child who had a long-term perspective on learning the instrument and one who did not. You can apply this by viewing whatever you're involved in with a long-term perspective. Whether it's your work, a hobby, or a new skill you're trying to learn, try to envision yourself still being involved in it well into the future. I apply this by telling myself that I will be living in Sweden for at least the next 10 years. By wiping the idea of returning to Australia from my mind completely, I'm able to achieve another level of motivation in learning the language and developing my professional network. The third and final insight from David's studies relates to how stars turn their passions into mastery. We're all familiar with the notion that it takes 10,000 hours to achieve mastery. But these aren't just any hours. This time needs to be spent at the edge of your current abilities, just beyond what you're capable of doing. This sort of practice will feel straining. The idea is to be pushing yourself mentally beyond what you're comfortable doing. Doing this is relatively straightforward in fields where there are well-defined rules of performance, such as chess and football. However, doing this in more dynamic situations, such as knowledge work, where the rules change from day to day, it can be a lot more difficult. Because of this, people tend to leave out deliberate practice from their weekly schedules, missing out on its immense benefits. If you take the time to slow down and figure out what things, if improved upon, will enable you to carry out your work more effectively, this will give you a massive edge in your field. Okay, so in summary, firstly, we see that passions are things that are ignited. They're not hiding deep within us. Design your environment so that you can live out the passions that you want. Secondly, those who view their endeavors as being lifelong tend to have higher levels of passion and enthusiasm, learning quicker and being able to produce at a higher level than those who view them as shorter time frames. Thirdly, engage in deliberate practice as much as possible. Stretch beyond your current comfort zone and find out the things that you need to do which will enable you to perform more effectively. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this content, be sure to like and subscribe. Also, check out the Role's website for more information about our executive coaching and professional development services.